Hello everyone, I am Dr. Samarth Podara, scientist from ICR ISRI New Delhi. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the KCC CHAKSHU portal and the applications of Kisan Call Center data analysis. This is the basic outline of the lecture that we are going to discuss today. First thing that we will see is the KCC CHAKSHU portal, which is an online repository for publicly available KCC dataset and basic analysis of the dataset. Secondly, we will see the agri response, look into the developed system which is used for automatic query response generation with special emphasis on plant protection related queries. Third, we will look into the developed frameworks Agri-Intel and Agri-Mind, which are used for extracting insights regarding farmers' queries and used to forecast trends for the farmers' queries. Next, we will discuss the future scope and other aspects of the data. So basically, this lecture is about what are the various types of analysis you can do on this dataset. We will move on, look at the developed portals and published researches on this data. So the KCC CHAKSHU, the CHAKSHU stands for Collated Historically Aggregated Knowledge Based System with Hypertext User Interface. This kcc-chakshu.icr.gov.in is the URL. This website was launched on 2nd July 2022. In this dataset, currently we have over 41 million phone call records, and these records corresponds to the Kisan Call Center call logs, which are made available online through the data.gov.in portal. The web portal is also developed to provide real-time state-wise early warnings with query count and query-related based insights. The portal is also useful for getting the nationwide insights regarding the demand for help from the data which is present from January 2006 till present. And last, the call records logs which are present in the Kisan Call Center data includes attributes like the location of the farmer, time of call, question asked by farmers, solution provided by the Kisan Call Center operator, and many other attributes are also present in the dataset. So this is the screenshot of the KCC portal. In that you have various inside pages which has home, alerts, insights, download data, relevant literature. Now this is the working website, and as we can see that you can download the data from this download Kisan Call Center data button. From here, data download button. When I click on this button, then I can see that the one download is in progress. So I will I already have the data, so I am removing it. So now let us move on to the alerts page. In the alerts page, you get the alerts, state-wise alerts of this farmers' queries. For example, all over India, from the period of 16/8/2024 till 19/8/2024, we have which are the topmost crops farmers are asking questions about. So as we can see, it is visible here that at this point in this time period, the UP farmers are asking most questions about paddy rice crop, and the second number is of Madhya Pradesh. The analysis is also given based on the highest rate of the queries, means which is the increasing number of queries that we are getting. So as we can see that in this graph, in this target period, the farmers are asking from Madhya Pradesh state about the soybean crop. This is the most increasing number of query calls. So this was about the alerts page. Now let us move on to the insights page. In the insights, we have the insights regarding the state-wise query calls that we have. So here is the top states and their query counts in the data set. Similarly, we have the top crops regarding which we have the data set. So this is the graph which gives us which are the top crops which are being asked by the farmers. So first is paddy, then it is wheat. Now we have year-wise analysis, means in which year how much data we have collected. So till 2024 till now we have this many number of data sets in our merged data set. Now if we do the month-wise analysis, we have month-wise number of query calls, and similarly we have the sector-wise, means agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry and fisheries. Based on this we have the number of query calls. After that we have, based on the query type wise insights, we have, for example, cereal, vegetable and so on. So most of the queries are from cereal type. And after that we have query type wise, means before it was category wise, now it is query type wise. So with the query type wise we have multiple types of queries, for example, weather, plant protection related queries, government scheme related queries and more, and so on. So as we can see that in our data set, the most number of queries are related to weather. Farmers are asking more queries related to the weather forecast and much more things. And second number of types of queries that farmers ask the most is the plant protection related, to how to face any pest or disease, some like that queries are being asked, and so on. So this was the overview of the insights page, download page, and some literature is available. Papers we will discuss in very brief. We will discuss about the published works on this data set. So now let us move on to move back to our presentation. So this was the overview of the KCC CHAKSHU portal. So next let us start the discussion with the developed agri response model, which is a real-time agricultural query response generation system for assisting nationwide farmers. Now this is the model that was developed and published in the reference is given on the below of the slide, bottom of the slide. Now in this system what is happening is that basically in this research we have developed 3 RRM. RRM stands for response retrieval models. So basically what is happening that in this system we are giving questions to the system. The system has the data set of the Kisan call centers, in which we have the previous year's question and answers that are asked by the farmers and answers given to the farmers. Based on that knowledge base, the system is retrieving the most relevant answer based on what question it has been asked by the system. So this is the overview of the system, means you ask 2-3 things, you give 2-3 things to the system, and based on the knowledge of the Kisan call center data set, it will retrieve you the most we can say appropriate set of answers based on these inputs given to the system. So the RRM1 uses there are multiple steps which are included in RRM1. The basic important character or important module of this RRM1 is the Levenshtein distance based calculation. This calculation helps to have an approximate matching of 2 strings or 2 terms. For example, in your data set, if there is some spelling mistake is there, so for some extent it can help to grab those questions also. So basically RRM, what it is doing is that whatever term that you have searched in the system, it will search that term in the asked questions by the farmers. The questions which will have the term that is given to the system, the answers corresponding to those questions will be retrieved as output. This is the very basic, very simple explanation of the this agree response system, but from multiple we have this in this research we have multiple other aspects, as we have worked on how to increase this searching power. How to increase the searching power means decreasing the speed of search while maintaining the accuracy. So based on that, we have developed RRM1, RRM2 and RRM3. Now in terms of accuracy and speed, from the developed system, what we got is that in terms of accuracy, RRM1 is one of the most accurate. Now here accuracy, there are, to calculate the accuracy of the model, there are two matrices. One is accuracy and one is crop weighted performance score. Now the accuracy is based on, we gave some random questions to the model and how many questions we are asked, the correct answer is given. But it is to be noted that the random questions are from the random crops. But in real time, we know that farmers are interested in only one set of crops are more popular within the farmers. So if we ask only those questions regarding those crops more, then we will get more accuracy in our results. So the crop weighted performance score is that score which gives us the performance of the model in real time scenario. How? Means in crop weighted performance score, the crops which are more popular in farmers are given more weightage. That is how we can say that the crops like wheat and paddy, farmers will ask more questions and the models will give more answers, more correct answers regarding those. So accuracy is the scenario matrix which gives us percentage, in terms of percentage, the accuracy of the model in random questions, and crop weighted performance score gives the accuracy in the corresponding to the real scenario. So as we can see that the accuracy of RRM1, simple random accuracy is 87%, but crop weighted performance score is 98%. Means in real scenarios, it can give the answers to almost 98% of the questions asked by the farmers. But the average response retrieval time is around 11 seconds. Now this system is developed, this model was developed in the Python language and the whole code is made available. And so on the system that we have developed, the response time was 11 seconds. Means when you are giving the question to the system, in the question you give two things, that is the crop and the disease regarding which you are asking about. The most relevant answers came on average of 11.6 seconds. This was the average time of the retrieval of the in RRM1. So as we can see that the users have to wait a few seconds. So to reduce this retrieval time, we developed the model RRM2, which gave the accuracy of 70% in random questions. In real scenarios, it gave the accuracy of around 93%. And the retrieval time was reduced to around 2.3 seconds. Similarly, the RRM3 is giving the random accuracy of answering random questions is 85.43%. In the more real scenarios, it is able to give 97% correct answers, and the average response retrieval time is also 4.18 seconds. So this was the research about the developed agri response model. For more detail, you can see this research paper published in last year. So this is open access paper, and the Most of the code is also available or developed in the for this RRM 123. This is also available. So this is the complete detail is given in this paper. Moving on to the next application of the analysis of this Kisan Call Center data is the AgriMine framework, which is a deep learning integrated spatio-temporal analytics framework for diagnosing nationwide agricultural issues using the Kisan Call Center data. There are multiple pipelines which were proposed in this framework. So basically what the framework is doing behind is that first the data from the Kisan Call Center's servers, or in our case we are getting the data from the data.gov.in portal, is collected. The raw data files there are around I can say more than 50,000 to 1 lakh files are there. Why? Because the raw data set that we are receiving is district wise, month wise files. So as you can see, if there are around 500 districts, for each month, let us say for each month there is one file, and we have data for past from 2006, but the data set was, the good amount was coming from 2010. So 2010 to 2024, around 14 years data. Each month we have around 12 months. So overall average, I am calculating the number of files we have is 14 years data each month. So around 84,000 files are there that we collected and analyzed. So these raw files are merged. These around 84,000 files are merged, and then data cleaning is done and then some pre-processing is done, cleaning is done, and after that the data set is made available on the KCC CHAKSHU portal. Now this AgriMine framework gives the overview of how you can use that data set. One of the way to give the policy recommendations, to generate policy recommendations, insights which will help to give the agriculture extension related policies. That is the overview of this AgriMine framework. So the detail of the pipeline is given in the paper that is referenced here, and this is the pipeline which is shown here is the pipeline for the spatial analysis. Means, for example, what I want to say is that in the KCC dataset, we do not have the latitude and longitude information. So somehow we need to add the latitude and longitude information in the dataset. So after that, we can make good analysis, good visual analysis can be done. For example, this is one of the case study that we took in the paper also, in the AgriMine paper. So this graph shows, the red dot shows from where we are getting queries related to the mushroom crop. So mushroom crops, farmers are asking about the mushroom crops from these locations which are dotted in red color. Based on this information, what we did was we consulted with multiple agricultural experts, and we pointed out these states in which farmers should, these are most potential states for growing mushrooms. So these pink colored states are those states which are identified as most potential states where farmers should grow mushroom, where the geographical location is also good and farmers can have more benefit if this crop is given more, we can say, importance in terms of agricultural extension activity. So this was one of the example of how the plotting of the data set based on the latitude and longitude information can be done. So this is one of the case study that is discussed in detail in the research paper. Second case study is the case study where we give the example of the agriculture extension planning in the UP state, Uttar Pradesh state, related to the rice crop. So after the analysis of the KCC data, some insights like this can also be given. So this Gantt chart, here the x-axis represents the year, weekly year, which is because we are discussing only regarding the rice crop. So from April till November we have the information here. So in UP state, what we are recommending is that when should we do the agriculture extension activities regarding to which topics. For example, in the x-axis represents the topics which are corresponding to the this rice crop. So if we want to, for example, the green color bars are from April last week till July second week. So what this Gantt chart is saying that on the x-axis it is seeds and varieties. So you should give agriculture extension activities to the farmers within this time period range. This is what we are recommending to the policy makers, that in this time period this topic agriculture extension activities should be done in UP state corresponding to the rice crop. Similarly, there is some time period for the fertilizer and nutrients agriculture extension activities. Same thing is with the weed management activities. Same thing is the plant protection. As we can see that plant protection is the more stretched out, means the whole crop during the whole crop season. This type of agriculture extension activity is needed by the farmers. So this is another type of insight that you can give. So this was the basic overview of the Agri-Mind framework. Now we will move on to the Agri-Intel framework, which is a spatial temporal profiling of nationwide plant protection problems using the Kisan Call Center data. Now this particular pipeline that we have shown is helpful in detecting the hotspots of diseases in all over India. Basically, it uses lens time distance for filtering the query calls. Then we are using k-means clustering and other types of AI tools to extract the hotspots of the target disease or pest. So this is the case study that we have discussed in the paper. Now, after the completion of the slides, I will show a description of the paper also in brief. And these are only just the overview of what kind of analysis can be done with the Kisan Call Center data. What we have done. So the figure A is the cluster based on number of query calls, which gives us the hotspot. Now this here, the markers on the graph represents the districts from where we are getting the query calls related to the blast disease in the rice crop. I am repeating again. This graph is we plots the latitude and longitude of the blast disease in rice crop. So from the analysis, we got to know that there are 4 hotspots in India where you can focus the agriculture extension activities related to this particular disease. We can, this was just a case study. You can also take any other pest or disease for the analysis. And figure B gives in which locations the number of query calls is increasing related to past years, and in which locations the number of query calls is decreasing in the past years. So the red stars gives where the districts where the issue is increasing in the past years. So this is one of the application of the analysis of the Kisan Call Center data. The whole detail, the analysis is given in the paper that we will discuss after a couple of more analysis. Another type of analysis can be done with the data set is that it can be merged into crop yield estimation models. So as we know, there are a number of models in which climatological factors and other factors are taken as input, and then some crop yield estimation model can be developed. So in this context, we have developed a model which not only takes climatological data but also takes the Kisan Call Center data, which helps to give the estimation of wheat yield. So this is in our study. I will show in detail in the paper. I will show it. But for now, we can say that we developed 4 models which took climatological data and KCC data as input and gave the district-wise wheat yield as output. So this is the comparison of the 4 models, machine learning models that we took in the study: GRU, XGBoost, CNN, and MLP. So another aspect of this case, KCC data is the time series analysis, which we have not discussed till now. Till now we were using the geographical location, but time series is also very much important aspect of the Kisan Call Center data, where we can take the data set and we can group the query calls based on the days or based on the weeks or based on the months or years. And then we can develop the forecasting models, for example, to forecast that in the next few days regarding a particular topic, how many number of calls are coming. Based on that analysis, we can recommend what kind of experts will be needed in the helpline centers, and in the next, let us say 1 month, what kind of problems the farmers are going to ask. Most probably that can be given to the agriculture extension people for the designing of the agriculture extension activities. So this is also one of the sub module of the AgriMine and AgriIntel frameworks. In AgriMine, we are forecasting the time series based on the particular topics. For example, we want to forecast how many number of phone calls are going to come in future related to plant protection in the target crop, or how many questions are going to come related to water management in the next, let's say, 1 week. So this was done in the AgriMine. In the AgriIntel, we went one step further and we gave the forecasting of the particular disease or pest. In the AgriIntel that we will show, in the this is the difference between the forecasting models of the AgriMine and AgriIntel. So in the AgriMine framework, we took the 6 models, compared the performance of the forecasting of the TCN, NBITS, FFT, LSTM, GRU, and RNN. And on the left side, I have the pipeline which was used to develop these forecasting models. The whole detail is in the research paper. The forecasting model developed in the AgriIntel used data in 2 ways. First is the previous time series, and second is the previous weather parameters. Based on these 2, the models generated the output, predicted gave the output, and then some ensembling was done the output was, we can say, merged, and then the final ensembled output was given. So this was the basic workflow of the Agri-Intel forecasting model. So this is the output of the Agri-Intel models, where we this is the forecasting output of the Agri-Mine forecasting, where we did the analysis on Punjab, UP, West Bengal. So 3 states were taken, and forecasting was done based on 3 days and 7 days, and 4 models were used: ANN, CNN, GRU, and LST. This is for the Agri-Intel forecasting models. Now, besides all the previous research works, there are other research works, other published studies also using the KCC dataset. For example, till now we have published some analytics based on the state specific analysis. For example, we have published work on the specialized on the Haryana state, Rajasthan state, and Punjab state. Similarly, another study we have published on the which focus was on the edible oil crops, in which we took the groundnut, mustard, and soybean crops and analyzed the dataset, Kisan Call Center dataset corresponding to these crops. So these are other studies, published studies, that we have done till now. And we have also done some studies which examines the call volumes trends over time and across different states. We have also categorized the query calls based on the crop type, and we have suggested variable actionable policy intervention related to the agriculture extension activities from the study. So these are the references regarding the Kisan Call Center dataset. These are the references which were developed in the KCC CHAKSHU project. These are the published works, and some oral presentations were also given in conferences in the past years. And this KCC CHAKSHU was awarded among the top 5 technologies of 2022 to 23 in the 95th ICR Foundation and Technology Day. So, before starting with the future scope, let me give you a brief about the Agri-Mine and Agri-Intel paper that we have discussed in the slides. So this is the Agri-Mine paper. Now here you can see if you want the more detailed work, what is being done, what was done, then here we have the complete information. This pipeline I have showed you in the presentation, and this is basic output, or I must say the flow diagram of how you insert the latitude and longitude information in the Kisan Call Center dataset. So this is the time series pipeline analysis. So this was the output, and this is the different graphs that we have. This is the graph that I have shown you in this slide regarding the mushroom related crop. This is the time series where we have the different, I think this is an interesting graph, which is the time series graph corresponding to different topics farmers asked questions about in the UP state regarding the rice paddy crop. So this is one of the important graph. Based on this time series we extracted, and this is the forecasting of the topic wise query call counts, daily forecasting outputs, and this is the Gantt chart that I showed you before. So this is the basic overview of this paper, Agri-Mine. And moving on to the next paper, Agri-Intel paper. So this is the Agri-Intel paper, and here what we have is that the analysis which I showed you, the methodology, the complete Agri-Intel framework is this much, In the slides, I have shown you only Agri Spatial and Agri Pred. If you want to learn more about these, you can see this paper. And these diagrams I have shown in these slides. We have discussed these graphs before, which represents the hotspots of the blast disease in the paddy crop all over India. So this gives the output. So, and this is the time series which gives the seasonal number of query calls which are asked by the farmers corresponding to the blast disease. So this is the day of year is in the x-axis, as you can see. Day of year is in the x-axis and number of query calls normalized in the y-axis, and this is the day of the year. We can show how many number of calls are being asked by the UP state farmers regarding the blast disease in the paddy crop. So this is one of the other aspects. Another interesting insight that you can extract is, as you can see, this table number 2. This table number 2 is the weather parameters, weather conditions corresponding to the highest growth rate or the outbreak of the blast disease in the state of UP, Punjab, MP and Haryana. So what basic thing is that these are the weather parameters which we can extract. If we can merge if we have the weather data set, we can merge the weather data set with the Kisan Call Center to get the most optimal, I must not say optimal, the best condition which is required for the disease outbreaks. So this is also one of the interesting insights from the Kisan Call Center data set. So these are the models, forecasting models, architectures which are developed. These are the output of the forecasting models, and this I think we have shown in the slide, we have discussed before. So this was the another research that was done on the Kisan Call Center. Another interesting work that we have discussed in the slides is the model which takes this is in this paper we have developed the model which takes the climatological parameters along with the Kisan Call Center data set to estimate the crop yield. So in this we have taken the case study of the wheat crop. So here, as we can see that this was the whole methodology which was developed and used in this paper. Multiple data from multiple sources were taken, and then some analysis, PC analysis was done. After that the models were developed and some partial derivative analysis were also done. So in this this was the paper regarding development of that kind of model. As we can see that in the figure 2b is the district wise wheat yield which is in log scale. So as we can see that here the wheat yield is, as we can see, is more in the Indo-Gangetic and central part of India instead of other parts of India. So this is one of the insights of the paper. So some correlation analysis was done, some partial derivative analysis, PC analysis was also done. So this is the basic, the model. I think this figure number 8 was discussed in the slides. So this is the basic partial derivative analysis was done. This is the basic analysis that was done on the Kisan Call Center, and there are n number of other papers around. I guess you can find more than 10 papers we have till now on the Kisan Call Center data. So which are, most of them are publicly available. So like this paper is also publicly accessible. So now I think it is time to move on to the future scope. You have till now, I think you have good idea about some of the aspects, that some of the analysis that you can do on the Kisan Call Center data set. You can build your agriculture related chatbots from the data set. You can do the spatial analysis where you can do the geographical location wise analysis. You can also do the time series based on which you can give some recommendation of the agriculture extension activities, and based on that there are some other future scopes. That is, for example, there is a there is scope of development of frameworks to give tailored insights from the Kisan Call Center dataset using based on the user specific requirements. Then there is this future scope of development of framework for the recommendation of agriculture extension policy recommendations. There is also, I think, there is a good scope of development of early detection and management of agriculture epidemic systems. So such kind of system can also be developed, which can give us early detection or management of agricultural epidemics using the Kisan Call Center data. And also there is a good scope of analyzing the correlation and association between the KCC data and the crop yield. So these are the few, I guess, fields which are still to be discovered. So I guess that was all from my side. If you have any doubt, then you can contact the course coordinators here. Thank you.